Coming up on ATV News, a USU faculty member was fired. We'll tell you what she is accused of.
You could soon be paying more for schooling, but how much more?
And engineering helps a disabled man rediscover his passion.
We're teetering on the edge of winter and spring. Find out where we're headed next on ATV News.
Hey Aggies, welcome to ATV News. I'm Carly Lichty.
And I'm Jessica Black. Last week, USU fired their Director of Enrollment Services because some of the scholarship money didn't seem to be going to the students.
Kelsey Keller found out more about the sticky situation.
Oh wait, that's Jen. Like, of all people, you know, it's just mostly shock and confusion.
She's talking about Jennifer Putnam Twist, Utah State University's former Director of Enrollment Services. Twist was terminated on March 20th after a recent internal audit revealed irregularities in the disbursement of scholarship funds. The dollar amount of money is unknown to the public. We've only been told it's a substantial amount. In fact, many details of the incident have not been revealed.
We turned the matter over to police and to the county attorney's office. There's an ongoing investigation, and we've been asked by authorities that until their investigation is complete, that we not comment on details of the incident.
Twist graduated from USU, where she also served as athletics vice president from 2001 to 2002. After graduating, she continued her career at USU. Before serving as executive director of enrollment services, she served as director of admissions. And according to those who know her, they say her life is Utah State.
She is the biggest Aggie fan you will ever meet in your life. She's never not wearing blue. You know, her wedding ring even has Aggie blue in it. And she's always, that's the first thing she's going to say to you when you meet her is go Aggies. And it's going to be really excited, and she's going to expect you to say it back and be even more excited than she is.
The investigators say the case is ongoing. Twist has been unable to be reached for further comment.
Increase in student fees and now an increase in tuition? We have Courtney Robinson standing by. Courtney, how much of an increase will students see?
Well, Jessica, right now President Albrecht and USU faculty and staff are proposing a small increase in tuition, but it's still large enough that it has students concerned. I did some investigation just to find out how much of an increase we may be seeing this fall. Utah State University students may be experiencing an increase in tuition, according to President Stan Albrecht. After evaluating the current needs of the university, Albrecht said, if approved, the Tier 2 tuition would be raised by nearly 1.5%, an increase of $35.53 for Utah residents and $114.39 for students from out of state. Jordan Hunt, ASUSU officer, says that you can't put a price on a good education.
I mean, I think that Tier 1 and 2 tuition are important and vital to the role of this institution, and really I appreciate what tuition goes to. I think that it's important to look at the bigger aspect and look at how much we're paying in tuition versus how much it costs to run the school.
1.5% may not seem like a lot, but for some out-of-state students, it will have an impact.
Out-of-state tuition-wise, just because we're already paying so much more than in-state. I'm not super excited to pay that money, but I mean, I guess we all will have to.
For me, like paying out of state tuition and this 1.5% increase, it's not that much of a substantial number to make me want to choose another school than Utah State. I feel like the amount of money I'm paying comparatively to any other school that's out of state is like nothing, really. I mean, I'm getting a quality education for a lot less.
In Logan, Utah, Courtney Robinson, ATV News.
The decision will soon be announced whether or not President Albrecht will pass this bill. Back to you, Jessica.
Thanks, Courtney.
Foul play has been ruled out in the case of the Preston man who died after he crashed his vehicle. He was on his way back to propose to his girlfriend.
Brianna Bodley gives us an update on how the family is doing after this tragic loss.
It's hard knowing I only had a short time with him.
The family of Adam Goodsell is remembering his life while the police look for answers to his death. Goldie Shaney, Adam's fiance, said for a while the troopers and the family thought it might be foul play.
I think everybody's glad it was brought up, because I mean, you've got that little bit of doubt in your mind. What caused it? Why did the brakes fail? Why did the gas pedal stick? I mean, there's always the question of why did it?
Shaney said investigators thought the cause might be connected with vandals who had targeted Shaney's house several times before.
Banging on the windows and doors in the middle of the night all the time, and my fender getting dented in.
She said one particularly rotten vandal threw a Dutch oven into her kitchen window.
When it went through, it ended up landing clear across my kitchen, and then the old food inside of it had splashed clear up the walls.
And the ultimate conclusion?
As of right now, I guess the police are saying, or the troopers are saying, they have finished the investigation. There has been no foul play.
Left without answers, the family now waits and remembers.
He gave everybody reason to be happy. Like, there wasn't, like everybody says, you always saw him with a smile on his face, and he did.
And with a little help, Goodsell did get his chance to propose.
So I took it in where Adam was, and I put the box and the ring in his hand and lifted it up for Goldie so Goldie could put it on her finger, because I knew my son wanted that to happen.
Brianna Bodley, ATV News.
If you would like to help out the family, donations are under Goldie Cheney's name at Wells Fargo Bank. Coming up on ATV News, we'll give you an update on Brandon Wright's rescuers.
And people are rallying in Salt Lake. We'll tell you why right after this. You all remember Brandon Wright, the man that was pulled from under a burning car by nearby construction workers and USU students.
Ryan Humphrey shows us where they are today.
Chances are you saw this heroic video of the 8 people that lifted the burning car off of Brandon Wright. Last Tuesday, the city of Logan awarded these people with a certificate thanking them for their actions.
I think what we received today was just an accommodation from Logan recognizing the people that helped in this situation.
The city council members also played a news clip to show everyone there what had happened.
I don't like to see the video of the car on fire. I try and just look away, just because that gave me a couple nightmares in the hospital. It's just not fun to watch yourself almost die.
This group of people even went on the Ellen Show to share their story.
The word hero applies to y'all for sure.
Catherine Grigg is grateful for the recognition that she's received, but she does think that it's time to move on.
It is very cool, but at the same time, I think we've been rewarded enough for something that I'm sure everybody else would have done. I think we should focus now on people, firefighters, paramedics, people that volunteer to do this every day of their lives.
They say I've thanked them enough, but that's just because they're so awesome and so selfless.
Brandon is on his way to a full recovery and is getting his life back in order.
Been doing a lot of rehab lately. Started school again, taking 10 credits at Utah State University.
Brandon hasn't let this accident stifle his love of riding.
Definitely going to be back on 2 wheels this summer, no question about it.
Ryan Humphreys, ATV News.
In the past, Brandon has helped build orphanages in Mexico and plans to create a charity to benefit the orphan children.
They come from all different faiths. They're all rallying all over the country, and they are mad. Britta, what is this all about?
Yeah, well, the Catholic Church is now being told that their insurance companies have to cover the cost of contraceptives, and that includes the abortion pill. And the Catholic Church, they say that this is in violation of their freedom of religion.
Catholic, Protestant, LDS, and Jew. People from all religious backgrounds came together to stand up for religious rights.
Today we are all Catholics. People of faith must stand together regardless of their theological differences and start standing up for our moral rights and our religious freedom.
The concern is the HHS mandate, which says religious institutions must pay for reproductive services, such as contraception, even if their beliefs are opposed to them. President Obama did offer a compromise, saying that the health insurance companies will be required to cover the costs. But religious groups argue that the compromise still asks them to go against their values and beliefs.
It's not a compromise because those costs will be shifted to an increase in the cost of the policy.
There's no magic money fairy that just
provides free things.
The government is trying to force Catholic institutions to do something now. Next week it'll be LDS Hospital. The next week it'll be our churches. And so we are standing up now.
Those present at the rally say that this is bigger than just Catholics and contraceptives, but that the real issue is the government stepping in on religious beliefs.
It's not just a matter of worship, it's a matter of being allowed to live out the tenets of our faith in the public square.
This issue is not about whether you agree with contraception or disagree with contraception. The issue is whether the government can come in and tell a religious institution that they have to provide the abortion pill.
There are over 100 people at the rally, and the people that were in attendance are hoping that in combination with the other rallies and protests going around the country, that their message will reach the White House. Back to you, Jess.
Thanks, Britta.
You may have seen advertisements about texting and driving. You might have even had someone you know affected by texting and driving. Now the message has come to USU, and Randall Henry has followed right behind.
This may be the last thing you want to see, but please take texting and driving very seriously, and with good cause.
I know there have been colleges and public safety groups that have done studies. I don't have any of the numbers right offhand, but they have been done, and it is just as deadly if you get hit by a person texting and driving as if you get hit by a person drinking and driving.
Students rallied together and put a thumbprint in his pledge to stop texting and driving to prevent further accidents like this one.
One of my best friends in high school was actually texting while driving, and she ran into a semi and she was killed. And so we kind of made a pact a couple years ago between all of our friends who knew her that we would never text and drive.
Attendees were given a chance to see just how hard it can be to text and drive, using tricycles and cones as a makeshift obstacle course.
Let's see if I can do this activity and not die. So, in summary, texting and driving is bad. Don't do it.
Randall Henry, ATV News.
Thanks, Randall. Fines for texting and driving in Utah can take a huge chunk out of your pocket. They can be as high as $750.
Let's go out to Ryan Humphreys to see what's coming up in weather.
The clouds are moving in, but are they here to stay? I'll tell you more coming up on ATV Weather. Some weird weather this week with a snowstorm on Monday, but it's finally starting to look a little bit more like spring. That storm cleared up the air quality, but not quite enough. We're still in the 60 parts per million range. Let's take a look at the nation's highs and lows. It's getting pretty warm here in the southern United States and Texas, around 90 degrees, as well as in Florida. But Utah sitting comfortably around 50 to 60 degrees. There's a storm coming in the Pacific Northwest, as you can see, right here along the northwest. Snow and rain is starting to build up, so let's take a look at how that's going to affect our 5-day forecast. Wednesday morning, we're hitting a high of 62 and a low of 38. Thursday is going to be about the same story, 63 and a low of 40. Friday's cloudy with high of 67 and a low of 46. Saturday is going to hit the week's high of 74 and a low of 37. Sunday is going to be the lowest of the week with a high of 46 and a low of 30. Well, that's it for ATV weather. We'll be right back with your ATV sports.
Sports. I'm Bailey McMurdy. All you Aggies better be ready for some basketball tonight because the men's basketball team is in the title game of the collegeinsider.com tournament. Now, I know you're thinking, who cares about the CIT? It's below the NIT. We didn't even make it through the first round of the WAC tournament. Blah, 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 blah. I'm hearing all of this complaining, but not enough Aggie pride. This is a huge game for an Aggie team who seemed absolutely hopeless at the beginning of this year. It has given the seniors a postseason to show off in. I mean, who knew Morgan Grimm had post moves? Brock Heath Payne can actually assist. Preston Medlin is on fire, as usual, and every player is starting to shine, and there's no excuse for students to not go to this game. I mean, heck, it's free. You need some convincing? All right, I have the highlights from the semifinal game against Oakland. All the guys came out with their A game. Keyshawn with blocks, Ben Clifford on the inside, and EJ Ferris with some scenic drives. Brock Keith Payne brought the pain with a double-double, bringing in 20 points and 10 assists, making some easy fadeaway J's. Look at him. He actually had a really great game, but Morgan Grimm came in fighting, making up for all the lost time because of his hurt ankles. He was throwing his body around Ty Wesley style, not afraid to go up against the Oakland scrappy play. Right here, just using his body right up against that player, and once again getting past Oakland. But the boys were sinking the trays, and Pre-Med, averaging 17.9 points per game, killed it. He ended the game with 26 points, 12 of those from behind the three-point line. He always knows how to pump up the crowd with his faces. Look at his reaction, love it. And he's just been owning on offense. He can shoot it from anywhere, it seems. He just keeps going and going. The end score was 105 to 81. That's just nuts. I don't even know what to say. 105 to 81. Look at that score. You saw Pre-Med and the Grim Reaper tearing it up. Did I mention the game tonight is free? If the Spectrum is not sold out, I don't even know what I'm going to do. All I'm going to say is be at the Spectrum tonight at 7 p.m. for the CIT Championship game. This would be the Aggies' first ever postseason championship win. Not only did we have basketball last weekend, the gymnastics WAC tournament was held in the Spectrum last Saturday. The ladies came out with their best, and 3 ladies were the talk of the night. First was Paige Jones. She had a 9.8 on bars, landing it really easily, a 9.825 on floor, showing off her moves right here, sticking that landing. But not so high on vault. She got a 9.550. Still a pretty good score. Next was Sarah Landis. She had a 9.725 on beam. Next, she was on vault, which was a 9.750. Look at her go right here. All I know is when I watch these girls go, I don't even know how they do it. I mean, look at her stick that. And look at her right here with her skills on floor. She had a 9.875 on floor. Watch her just so composed, ready to go, going for it, and she just owns it. I couldn't do that. I'm always impressed. Next was Rebecca Holiday, who earned second team WAC all honors by placing 4th on beam with a career best of 9.875. It was her 3rd all WAC honor of her career, and she got a 9.875 ties with the 4th best in school history. And she became the 25th Aggie gymnast with a 9.87 or higher. Just the Aggies, they did really well, but they actually ended up in 5th place in the WAC tournament.
The girls had a great meet. When we finished that last rotation, that 4th rotation for us, we went up in the tunnel, and I'm proud of them. They've had a great season. This is the bestest team. This is the best team we've put out since I've been here.
It was just really fun, and I'm so glad that we got to have WAC my senior year here in the Spectrum. My last meet here, I went out, and any doubts that I had, I threw them out the window, and I just tried to do my very best that I could do.
It just so happens that Rebecca Holiday did make it to regionals along with Paige Jones and Sarah Landis. The North Regional Championships will be hosted by the University of Utah, so not too far away from home. The meet will be in the Huntsman Center on April 7th at 6 p.m. Aggie football was back on the field yesterday for their first spring practice, but with one of their star players not on the field. Mo Alexander, a linebacker who had his first year at USU during last season. He even started a couple of those games and was expected to start as strong safety during the 2012 season. Now with Bobby Wagner gone, we definitely needed a presence in linebackers, but Bobby Wagner's going for NFL dreams, and now with Alexander gone, Tavares McMillan will be the unchallenged leader of the linebacking core. Well, That's it for ATV Sports. Again, get your butts to the Spectrum tonight, 7 p.m. It's the championship game. The guys take on the Mercer Bears. Should be a grisly game, so make sure to be there early. Stay tuned for more ATV news.
When Albert LaBounty was in a motorcycle accident, he lost the ability to walk and do one of his favorite hobbies. Now Utah State engineers are helping him get over the hurdle that keeps him from getting under his car. Mechanical engineers at Utah State designed a mechanical creeper used to help someone work under their car. They wanted to design something simple and manufacturable, so they teamed up with the Assistive Technology Lab and made it happen.
Assistive technology is any device that exists that enables a person with a disability to have more freedom.
The device was built specifically for Albert LaBounty, who, after an accident, was left a paraplegic.
You could tell when Albert got into that chair that he was really excited to get underneath the car and to see the things that he hasn't seen for a long time.
But as soon as it was built, we started saying, hey, there's a whole lot of mechanics out there working now that are becoming senior. Their knees are starting to give out on them, and they would love to have this kind of device.
So how does it work?
He can scoot the rest of the way onto the creeper. It's run by a rocker momentary switch that controls which direction you're going.
The creeper takes about 45 seconds to go all the way down. Once it's as low as it goes, it can easily be maneuvered in and out from under the vehicle.
We are very proud of what we do. This has enabled us to be able to expand our technologies for, I believe, a greater good.
A grant from the National Science Foundation has given the Mechanical Engineering Department enough funding to work on these projects for the next 5 years.
It's springtime and gardening season is here. While testing your green thumb is a popular pastime, it is also a great way to save money. Ramina Nadakovic is outside in the dirt. Ramina, what are you doing out there?
Hi Jess, yes, the question being asked right now is, are you guys being fed up with the rising food prices? At the Native Plant Workshop, Master Gardeners are teaching you how to raise your own food as well as other helpful tips. I went to the workshop to learn a little more.
With a little water, plants such as these grow and bloom, creating a spring sight. At the Plant Propagation Workshop, people come to learn how to grow native plants while learning to save money with their groceries.
This is a lot more economical to plant these seeds that we've collected or shared with others. So you take the class and you can learn how to collect seeds too from plants and then replant it yourself, and basically learn you could grow your own yard from hardly any money at all.
Native plants are emphasized at this workshop because they are really good with water.
Native plants are much easier to raise in many situations because they don't require as much water. We are trying to cut down on the use of water in the landscape, and so using native plants is a really good way to cut down on water in the landscape.
Like humans, plants need water, lots of water, to survive. But everyone has their own reasons for coming to the workshop.
I think I love planting different kinds of plants. But I always thought native plants were really hard to grow. I've wanted to for years because I've just wanted to have those in my garden.
I'm non-native Utahn, and I came from North Carolina, and I'm just trying to find out a little bit about the species that grow in Utah.
Man, this weed is tough to get out. Okay, there we go. So, my hands are dirty, but that's okay. I mean, I'm starting to get into gardening myself. I feel like my mother, but it's okay because one day I'm gonna have a beautiful backyard. Now for this workshop, it goes from 6 to 9 on Thursdays. It is their 10th annual workshop. They got a great crowd that came in, you know, some old, some younger, and it was great. So back to you guys.
Thanks, Ramina.
So my question is, are you guys going to the game?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course. Well, I wouldn't miss it.
Good.
I'm so excited.
Like I said before, everybody should be going to this game.
Oh, I'm going to be there. I will be there.
Yeah, not going to miss it.
Okay, good. Because if you do, I'm going to find you and bring you to that game.
Sounds good.
For
Maybe-
free.
Yeah, I like it. Well, thanks for watching ATV News. I'm Jessica Black.
I'm Carly Lichty.
And I'm Bailey McMurdy. Have an awesome week, Aggies. Go to the game.